Hello and welcome back. I got creative with some green and purple eyeshadows today, as you can see. If you want to see how I created this, I'd like to see how I created this. I don't know. I'd like to watch a video like this. Then keep watching.
I know, this palette again. I really wanted to reach for something else too, but this one is just so good, especially that shade Androgyny. I'm able to use it as like the lightest transition shade ever, and then just keep building it up and deepening it up, which you'll see in a few minutes here. I had my foundation on from earlier that morning, so this was basically come home, wipe the glitter off my eyes, and then just kind of completely start all over again. The eyebrows that I have on there, which you can't really see from this distance, but you'll see later on in the close-up shots, were really cool. They were a MAC glitter eyeliner in the color Her Glitz that were just kind of stroked on and little feather-like strokes on top of my eyebrow pencil there, and it created kind of a cool effect up close. And obviously I set my under eyes with some setting powder there to catch any eyeshadow fallout. Now this color, Poison Plum by SUGARPILL, it's really interesting. It is that perfect purple that we've all been looking for in an eyeshadow when you see it in a picture on Instagram. But when you get it home and you swatch it and you start using it, you realize that every single person that's ever used this color and posted this perfect picture of it on Instagram also used probably a couple of filters, because it just doesn't go on the way that you think it's going to go on. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful color. It's just not as saturated and it's not as perfect of a purple as you want. It really plays well with others, and you can get it to look really beautiful and really saturated as long as you have a lot of time to really dick around with it and really blend it out, but really pack it in at the same time. And the more that you pack it in, the patchier it gets. But it really does turn out pretty as long as you're super patient with it. Again, with the Beauty Killer palette and that color Vanity, I use it so much anymore, but it really plays well with any other color that you pair it with. And with the look I was doing today, I wanted something that was going to keep the two colors separated, but again, work really well with both the purple on the top and with the green that I'm about to put on the lid here in a few minutes. And that MAC 221 brush is such a great crease brush, especially when you're doing really dark colors and you want to keep them really low and you want to smoke them out but still keep them right there at the crease. I'm taking a much larger brush to put that Androgyny shade at my lower lash line. And when I'm smoking out my lower lash line, I don't like to keep it really nice and tight. I really like to blow that color out. And I don't know, give it almost a raccoony kind of look. I guess I'm okay with that. And on a Morphe pencil brush, going in and really packing Poison Plum onto the lower lash line and kind of smoking it out a little bit from there. Vanity is also going on the lower lash line. I'm keeping that on the outer half of the eye to really add some dimension and some depth in that outer corner. Old Gold by MAC. This is a really great pigment. It's very buildable. You can create a lot of different looks with it. Packing it on with that Morphe eye shader brush, I'm giving it that first base, but giving it a really nice base that I can build upon, especially in a few minutes here. I'm going to go in with a setting spray on that same brush and really really give it that pop right there in the center of the lid. Before I do that, I'm going back in with Vanity on my 221 just to kind of soften the edges of that pigment there where it might have got a little bit, you know, sloppy or messy. I've said this before, but that Wet n Wild Photofocus setting spray is really great for foiling eyeshadow. I kind of like it a little bit better than Fix Plus because it just has a little bit more stickiness to it. Just got such better saturation when you're applying a shade like this with a dampened brush. You know, it looks great on its own, but when you go in there with, you know, like a nice wet sticky base, it just has so much more intensity, especially right there when used in the center of the lid like that. This Morphe R38, I just went in with a clean brush to really soften and blur that outer edge even further on the top and the bottom. To be honest, I probably blended this out for like the next 25 minutes or so. So I edited it down to like, you know, a fraction of that. The MAC Dazzle Shadow, this is from the Kabuki Quad. And 3 of the 4 colors, I feel like I use them more as an inner corner highlight than I ever do an actual eyeshadow, which is fine. I mean, you can never have enough highlighters. This one has a lot of glitter in it, so I don't know that I would use it on like my cheekbone or anything. But for that inner corner, they actually look really cool. And that NIGHTMOTH lip liner is my favorite waterline pencil that I've probably ever used for my eye color. I just think that it looks really, really nice. Again, it's technically a lip liner, but I've never had any weird reactions to it in my eyes. It never stains. And I mean, even if it did stain, I'll just throw on some black eyeliner the next day. I don't really care. And just a couple coats of mascara to finish everything off. If you've been here before, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm using. This lipstick, I believe, was revamped and relaunched, but I think that the shade might have changed a little bit. I think that the new one is a little bit more sheer than the one that I'm wearing, but I actually really like this one.
And that's the final look. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.